pedestrian, a bicyclist, hit possibly by a car there.
The CHP is confirming that a mother and her 3-year-old daughter were struck inside the crosswalk by
No cars allowed. It was quite a sight today on some Los Angeles streets as hundreds of cyclists and pedestrians got a chance to explore this city like never before.
I am so happy. This is like amazing for Los Angeles.
Lucia Padilla is one of those who hopped on their bicycles to take advantage of what's called CicLAvia.
This is the seed of a process. Where is this process going to take us?
Use this great public space that belongs to all of us. Just for a day, we're going to use it to bring us together, to create new communities, to create new bonds, and hopefully maybe even make some new friends today.
I think this is the most beautiful thing that could happen to Los Angeles. I grew up in Los Angeles. I rode a bike. And how great is it that you can ride your bike, people can walk, people can roller skate.
For one day, you have tens of thousands of people who are on equal footing, or equal pedaling, whatever it might be.
Still working on stuff.
Okay.
But I'll be an email.
Okay.
I'll be here. Bye, everyone.
And then fit more information than
right.
more graphics and the other stuff.
Okay, so development, we already have Gavinia Coffee and Cliff Bar, right? Mm-hmm. No, but it's like just it's South LA, like just really pushing South LA and
so
not.
It just says CicLAvia.
Yeah, kind of just it's more elegant and more restrained, yeah. Where would you, Silver? You guys you finish it offline. We'll finish the merchandise offline.
I was a board member of the LCBC, Los Angeles County Bicycle Coalition, back 5 or 6 or 7 years ago. And in one of the board meetings, we had a presentation from some people, young people who spent time in Bogota and saw some of that event there and were very taken by it. And they thought they should produce something like that in Los Angeles. As it stands, it is kind of a periodic event, and it gives people an experience of what streets could look like if they weren't dominated by car traffic, and that is an experience that will stay with people. You really want a street which is has a bit of residential elements to it and commercial elements to it, and I think it's a tool to involve people who have been socialized into the car. There's life beyond the car.
Particle in the mass concentration, and yeah, that's the basic to geology conditions.
But no, I don't want to say that we're going to confine it to the same routes, and Aaron can, can speak to that too. We want to expand actually the one to the valley that's coming up. We're going to South LA next. The other thing that I want to do and is to connect cities together. I'm a commissioner in the city of Glendale, and I'm pushing hard. And maybe we can bring in the 80/80, so maybe Gil can make a presentation, you make a presentation, I can cover the engineering side, street closure portion of it.
That's amazing. The Department of Transportation in LA has been, the department that moves cars as fast as they can across the city, and he's now one of the strongest advocates for closing streets to car traffic, and it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and really smart and knows obviously what the triggers are on his side that need to happen to facilitate this.
Well, he's like an engineer's engineer, so really when he'll go to these conferences, like there's nobody who can say, oh, well, you haven't thought about the engineering issues here or the blah, blah, blah issues. So it's really great. He's a great advocate for this.
Yeah, open streets programming should work hand in glove with developing a minimum grid of active transportation infrastructure, not just like what Aram was saying, developing cordons that will go across to close off streets, but also as we're creating sensitivity along those corridors through the outreach under the auspices of open streets, we're kind of indirectly connecting those people to these concepts, and then as we're thinking about the connectivity for open streets, we're thinking more broadly about the connectivity of the cities.
Open Street project is not a cycling project. It's a project for, I'd like to say, as many pedestrians as bicyclists. Now obviously, when you have a 10-mile closure, cycling is the best way to cover ground back and forth to see as much as possible. But that's one perception that needs to be changed. The communities that are organizing these projects should have a sense of ownership. Now, other benefits are community benefits, people meeting each other, people talking, seeing each other. Business benefits are great. To health benefits, I believe there was a study done in the city of Guadalajara where the diabetes rate amongst kids went down because of these open street projects. Even safety benefits. The police department will tell you that the best policing is community policing. It's involvement with the community. What's a better way than getting involved with the community through open street projects?
My dad's falling back to and so this is thank you to everybody in production. You guys are doing such a great job, and I know you're carrying the brunt of this. Viva la CicLAvia! Que viva! Que viva! And thank you to Bogota for 40 years of examples, and thanks to all of you for making CicLAvia in Los Angeles what it is.
To talk about CicLAvia in Bogota, we have to go back to the 60s. I was a student of architecture in the United States. I lived through many of the American cities' crises. I remember the burning of the Watts here in Los Angeles. I remember many other crises that were leaving the American city with the process of suburbia. I was influenced by the civil rights movement. Colombia was in the process of becoming an urbanized country. So that strategy included the automobile, which determined the shape of Bogota. So here I come back to Bogota, and we created the image of the temporary use of streets that allows 1,500,000 people to come out of the streets, feeling and acting as the main actors of the scene. Because CicLAvia is a complete neutral space where anyone can go in and feel comfortable.
Good morning, Central Avenue. Buenos dias, Avenida Central. How's everybody doing? Today, these streets will be transformed into a space that's 4 times longer than Central Park in New York. Picture that for a moment. Our streets comprise 15% of the city, and they're the greatest asset that we don't usually use.
My name is Kenneth Williams. I'm out of LA, Los Angeles, California. I'm part of the World Riders Bike Club. I am the president and founder. That's First Lady, that's Mama. And this is Tbone. Yes, World Riders. We ride in all events, every event that's in Los Angeles. We do them. To try to stop the gangs and stuff and get them to see something different, how grown folks can come together as different people, different tribe, races and stuff, and come together.
Yes! Thank you, man. This is so great.
I'm born and raised in South LA, Los Angeles, mostly off Crenshaw and Hyde Park. I attended the original event, 1010, the first ever CicLAvia, and was just really inspired by seeing so many Los Angelinos in the streets, seeing people reclaiming space, seeing public space being used in such a positive, healthy way, and felt it would be a really great benefit, a really great opportunity for South Los Angeles in particular. In neighborhoods like that, where there's a lack of investment, a lack of recreational open space, and a lack of ownership over space. I'm hopeful that CicLAvia becomes that space where connections are made and understandings are built.
Community is when strangers speak to each other. And when strangers speak to each other, they can't do that between car doors and car windows, but they can do it there. And they do it because it's such an amazing thing to be in that you really want to share your amazement with the person next to you.
Cities and urban life is the most complex and sophisticated human invention. It's in the process of change, and it has the capacities and the ways of change.